Hey girls. Oh, darn it. Now I knocked that over. Whoopsies. And there goes my ice water. Well, shoot. That's not going to help any. Oh, boy. Hello to whoever is joining. We're going to sit and chit-chat about keeping chickens cool. But before I do, I need to fill up a water dish that I have knocked over. So hello. Let me just take care of this real quick. So hello, say hello. I'll come back to you in just a second. I apologize. I knocked over my chicken's water. Let me get them some fresh. I did not mean to do that. I've got some hot chickens. It's really hot where we're at. I don't know where you guys are at. So say hello. Give me just a second and I'll sit down. Apologize. Just as I hit the live button, not only did I knock over my chicken's water, I knocked over, I tripped over a stump and dumped out my water, my own personal water. Okay, I set that down right there. I apologize. Let me come back and see who's here. Let's see. Oh, hello, Frog Crochet. How are you? How are you? I apologize for my fiasco. I'm just trying to get everything set up. We just got the National Weather Service has issued a heat index warning for our area, and I thought maybe this would be a great opportunity to share how I personally keep my chickens cool during the heat index. And what I will say before I get going, we are under a thunderstorm watch, so if I have to cut this short, then I will need to do that and get my chickens all in here. So, man, it's hot. Is it hot where you guys are at? Or are you guys staying cool? I'm just out here. This is my third summer with my hens and dealing with this miserable heat. And I thought maybe I'd share ways that I keep my chickens cool. So, of course, I have plenty of water everywhere. I offer them little water. I have a couple of pans of water sitting out. They have the Premier One waterers, which are insulated, and it's 83 in the shade. Oh my gosh. I think we are I'm going to say we're probably about 95 degrees right now. We have a heat index of about 105 for that. Come on out, girl. Come on out to the shade. Come on out. Now, what I will say is I have a mister fan, and it's misting out water. As you can see, there's water on the ground. My girls are not huge fans of the mister, to be perfectly honest with you, but it's important to get things cooled down the best you can. And that does help bring down the temperature a little bit. They just don't like to get wet. That is done on battery, and you fill it up with a 5-gallon water bucket. Back to the Premier One. These are heated waterers, but they're insulated, and they make it great for the summertime because half of that container is completely filled with ice, and then I just put fresh water in there today. So the girls have 2 of them going right now. And then for those who don't know, my chicken coop, it does not, hello Minnie, it does not have any electricity running to it. And hello, Life with Belinda and Chuck. So I have to get creative with finding ways of bringing out these fans. And Ryobi has fans that are battery operated, and we just hook up battery operated fans to keep the girls cooled. Of course, we use shade cloth with it pulled up just a little bit off the ground so the girls get a little bit of cross breeze up underneath of it. And then there's the shade cloth on top because we don't have any trees where the girls are at, and that helps keep them cool. They like to come out here and chill out. And also, underneath of their coop is sand, and it's really cool under there. So typically my girls are up underneath of the coop staying cool. And another thing you can do to keep your chickens cool in case of an emergency, because chickens' body temperatures can range between 103 to 107 and they're wearing a down coat, have a tub of water ready to go, because if they overheat, you want to be able to dip them in cool, not cold, water to bring their temperature down. So I have that here. I'll dump that in the evening because I don't want mosquito problem. But they can't drown in it. They can walk in it if they need to, but you can dip your chickens if they get overheated. So always have something like that. But yeah, we are in a heat index. They're expecting 110 with our crazy humidity for us for today and for tomorrow. So I'm out here with my girls and getting them prepared for this heat index and keeping them cool. Of course, they always have their waters filled because they have two, but there is water everywhere else because I don't want my girls going too far without being able to access fresh, cold water. So I come out here and I change it every couple of hours and give them fresh water right midnight. So I'm curious where everybody else is at in the country, if you're new here, and what your temperatures are like, and if you've got chickens, how are you guys keeping your chickens cool today? Mine are doing pretty good here. I'm not an expert in all things chickens, but we did have a chicken last year that it was Coco who got broody on us, and she overheated, and I had to dip her in cool water, and then give her electrolytes last year, and I actually was able to bring her back. Of course, you guys get to see her now because I didn't start the channel until long after that, but yeah, the heat index got really bad that we almost lost her last year due to the heat. So it's important to keep the chickens cool. Hi, Aunt Lynn. So yeah, I'm just kind of curious. Of course, I also have frozen strawberries. If you guys saw that 24 pounds of strawberries, I have, okay, you're not home yet. I have all those strawberry tops in my freezer, and the girls have enjoyed 2 bags of those already. I'm trying to not use those up all at once. I need some more fruit to freeze for them, so I'll be working on that this summer and getting them ready for the girls. But anyhow, I think it's just really important to take care of your chickens, especially if they're not free range, which my girls are partially not able to free range just because we do live next to the city. We have a cornfield next to us, and there tends to be a possum and coyote problem that goes through that cornfield. So the girls will not be able to go out unless I'm out there, and pretty soon we'll be putting up a fencing, portable fencing to keep them in. It won't be electrified, but it's just to kind of monitor to make sure nothing comes up on them without me being out there. So anyhow, I'm just kind of curious, how's everybody else doing? What you guys up to today? Hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday. It's just ridiculously hot. I'm done with this. I like the cooler weather. Right, Minnie? You're hot. Right? This little girl refused to lay her egg in the nesting box today. That's how hot it is. She decided to lay it in the sand. I told my husband about it. I'm like, yep, Minnie's egg was in the sand. I watched her do it. Now look how she won't get in where it's misting at. She won't get up in it. Silly girl. So Aunt Lynn is not home. Okay, I see that. Yeah, Minnie's kind of a funny bird. She is hysterical. Like that. She won't get up in that mist. Actually, none of them will. Chickens are funny creatures. I think most of them, we'll walk around. Most of them are tucked up. Let's see. I'll walk out here. We got Broody Butt out. Looks like a great big old turkey. Hi, Gracie. There's Broody Butt. Hello, all that fluff and stuff. Welcome. This is Gracie. We don't need your services. Goodbye. So most of the time, that's the hangout spot down there where their water is at. Hello, hello, Little Ridge Farm. Hello. Are you guys staying cool where you're at? Just curious. I'm just sitting here showing how I keep my chickens cool. I think it's important to always have water everywhere, and we have fans. So we have another one. Let's see. So if you missed it, we do not have electricity that runs to the coop. So this one is actually turned on despite the fact that the camera is picking it up kind of funny. And then we hook it into a battery. That's our lawnmower battery. So we just hook it in and blow circulation. Wow, I saw that 70s today. Hello, 70-degree weather. It is really hot. We just got an alert. We are having heat index of about 110 degrees with our horrible humidity. The National Weather Service has just sent out alerts to everybody. All of our weather alerts went off approximately 20 minutes ago. So, hello. Yeah, it's a really good setup for the girls. But so my girls don't live in the city. They don't live in, I live in the city. So let me make that clear. But my girls don't. They live on my neighbor's property, and we do not have electricity that runs to the coop unless we run an outdoor electric cord, which we do that in the wintertime to keep their waterers warm. But in the summertime, we find ways to run the fans. And my husband and I are woodworkers, so we use a lot of battery operated things. And we just went a couple of years ago, and I'm like, well, let's just go get the fans to go with our batteries. And then we got the fan to go with our lawnmower. And that's how we keep our girls cool in the summertime. It makes a world of a difference. I get recycled sheds. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, a recycled shed for a coop? Yes. That's the way to do it too. Let me go back out here. I'm gonna go sit in my little stump. Yes. I was talking to my neighbor about that. Somebody else had one, and we were talking about how awesome that would be to be able to get it and have a second coop, but it ain't happening. Now, I'm not talking about the neighbor that I have the property on. I'm talking about a different neighbor. Look at you. Look at you. Little Miss Gracie. You look like a big old turkey there, Missy. All puffed up. I don't need your services, Gracie. I'll tell you something. One thing I've learned with owning chickens, at least with my black astrolorps, let me make that clear. At least with mine, they make really good broody chickens. They're really, but it doesn't show up until the second year. They're kind of late broody starters. I don't know if anybody else has that. Two of my astrolorps, I have 3. 2 of them were not broody until this year. So I'm waiting on this one to see if she ever goes broody. But so far, nothing. 8 by 10. I'm thinking 2 separate coops, layers and breeders separate. I think that is awesome. I think that's a great way to upcycle a building and put some good use to it. And chicken coops, for sure, that's exactly what I would do. And quite frankly, the cost of building materials to build a coop is astronomical. So to be able to have that as a resource and to be able to upcycle, I mean, my goodness, yes, for sure. I love that idea. I wish that our coop, we had built it bigger. We actually built ours, and we built our run. But we did it all before everything got expensive. I mean, literally just before everything got expensive. And looking back, I wish that we had gotten the plans for the bigger coop size so I could have had more birds. But okay, well, now I have what I have, right? I can't go back and change it. I like the coop. I just wish it were bigger. So yeah, to have a shed, that'd be the best. Hoping they could be moved in. Oh, yes, exactly. It's gone up so much. The coop we bought last year was $1,400. The same coop is, oh my gosh, over $1,000 more. Ouch. Ouch. So to build my coop, and it holds, technically, the plans say it holds 4 birds. I think there's a way that I could get it to hold more, to be honest with you. It cost my husband and I $450 all in cost, but that does not include the cost of the electric door. That was separate, and that was a luxury item. I will admit to that. Being a caregiver, I went ahead and I got the door for that reason. And but to actually build the coop, it was $450, and I'd hate to see how much that would cost now. The run was about, well, we had leftover from the roofing, so that didn't cost us anything, but the rest of it was right at about $100 to build the run. So yeah, so about $550-ish to build it. So like literally just before the price went up. I mean, we're talking months, because my girls are they were born in 2020. They're not part of that whole cinnamon vanilla thing that happened. We had planned on getting chickens back in January of 2020. To be honest with you, my neighbor came down to my house and they're like, "Do you want chickens?" And I said, "Yeah." And they were so kind and gracious, and I kind of had a pinch me moment. I mean, seriously, I have the best neighbors. And so they staked out a piece of their land and said, put it here. And yeah, that was before everything. So they even helped us with getting the wood, because I couldn't get everything in my car. So they met us at Lowe's a couple of times, and they were so sweet. Hey, so I know Nightbot is saying fire. Also type in Grace, because for some reason, or if somebody could check that, I don't know that it's opening up links. If somebody could check up where it says that and see if it opens your link. If not, type in Grace. I do want everybody sharing out their channels. I really do believe in supporting one another. That is a mission of mine in building communities. But I may have messed up on Nightbot, and honestly, I have just not had time to take a look at Nightbot and from yesterday's live caregiver duties and trying to get things done around the property. Just being truthful. So type in Grace. So, and if somebody doesn't mind just checking to see if they've typed in fire, go back and see if it opens your link and let me know in the chat. I'd appreciate it. So repurposing material, yes, my thing. Love repurposing materials if possible. My quail and office building is in a different situation. Oh, I love that. I love repurposing. Thank you so much, Frog Crochet, for doing that and dropping your link. Looks like it works for both names. Okay, good. Okay, good. Thank you, Frog Crochet. Thank you, all that fluff and stuff. Okay, so it works. Okay, I think I'm just going to fix it and then just leave it where it says fire then. Somebody in my other live said that the fire one didn't open up the link. And I've been testing to see if I got the right codes for Nightbot. And so I was going to take a look at that, and I just didn't get a chance to look at it. So thank you so much. Well, back to the repurposing. So I have a headboard, a used headboard that when it cools down, I'm going to be building a bench out of an old headboard. It's something that my husband and I do. We've built, I think, 13 benches now, 12 or 13, something like that. I've lost track, out of old headboards or cribs. Most of them have been donated to nonprofits. Coco, Coco, Coco is pecking at me. Coco, why are you pecking? What are you doing? Coco, Coco, what are you doing? See, she's pecking at me. Coco, seriously, girl. I think this is becoming the Coco show. So I'm going to be upcycling a headboard and turning it into a bench because it's a beautiful headboard. And then I want to get like a little wood like decoration to put on it and paint it up. Hope everyone's following along on my adventures building. Yes. Yes, headboard benches. Yeah, and headboard benches are the great. Hello, Ultimate Acres. Welcome. Welcome. I'm doing well. And what app am I streaming on? Just YouTube. I did download Restream, and I need to sit down and figure that out. So that will be coming soon because I want to be able to interview people or have people on the channel and then be able to let the person that's on my channel share that link on their channel so it streams simultaneously, but whoever's on my channel will be able to get those watch hours as well. Okay, it does okay, wait a minute, let me read that. It does drop the link, but when you go to the link, it says it's not available. Okay. Thank you so much, Frog Crochet. That's what I was told with the fire link. And then, yeah, the YouTube, yeah. So, anyhow, yeah, I have to figure that out with Restream, though. I need to sit down and play with it. I tried it whenever Aunt Lynn and I went out on our little, we called it Girls Gone Mild, because the one with Wild, I can't fully say the thing, but since that's a branded name, we called our trip Girls Gone Mild. We tried it on our little trip out, and I couldn't get Restream to work because I was going to do it simultaneously with the Ann Lynn show, and I need some more time with it. So I will get it figured out, but I would like to help somebody, you know, be able to get their watch hours too. You know, I think that's only fair. If they're going to be on my channel, I'd like to, you know, help with that. So that is coming. I just need some time to sit down and play with it. I've already got it. Well, okay, Gracie. Okay, Miss Drama. Are you just done with it? Are you just done? I'm done with the heat too. See here, both names is open mind, and I use grace and fire. Okay, okay. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. So some of people it's working for, and some it's not. Okay. All right. Well, I need to sit and look at it. Oh, Miss Gracie, you are full of drama. I see in the planter box made out of a headboard and footboard. Ooh, I'm gonna have to look that one up. I'm gonna have to look that up. I need to build a. Excuse you. You're going to the restroom. Sorry. I need to build a toy box. I'm going to see a good day from Australia, Mill Ridge. It's 5 a.m. Oh my goodness, 5 a.m. Ay, 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 you're up early. Well, good morning. Good morning. I hope you have your cup of coffee. That's early. So I am on grandma watch. So no baby yet, but it was requested that I build a toy box. Thank you so much, Aunt Lynn. Oh, you must be home. Thank you. You're doing it from your computer now. Thank you. So anyhow, just talked with Sweeney from Australia last night. Oh, wow. Wow. It is really miserably hot here, isn't it, Tweety Bird? Little Miss Tweety. Hello, Free Handily! Niecy, how are you, girl? How are you feeling? You have been in my thoughts lately, and I mean that too. I've been wondering about you. Hey, Rich. Hey, you caught a live. Whoop, whoop. I'm just sitting out here. We have a heat index of 110. We just had the National Weather Service put out a heat warning. So we have things to keep the girls cool that are battery operated. And then ice bucket full of water. Yes. Yes. Thank you for joining. Thank you. So anyhow, I'm just hanging out with the girls, and poor things are hot as hot can be, you know. I feel so bad for them. Chickens' internal temperatures can run anywhere from 103 to 107 Fahrenheit. So, and then on top of that, they're wearing their little down coats with all their feathers. So this is not ideal. And on top of that, they do not have sweat glands. So it's very important that you provide lots of water. So it's important to also have an emergency plan just in case any of them start to look weak or start to look ill. I've actually had that as an emergency last year. I use StreamYard when I go live. It's great, and you can invite guests on screen. You can only have 20 hours free before you have to pay for it. I was going to try the YouTube Live app as I cannot afford it. Yeah, I don't have any problems with YouTube. I run it through on my phone. I was using StreamYard on my computer, and then now I'm going to go to Restream. I actually paid for Restream for a year, and I'm going to give it a whirl once I'm in the house and do it in there. But on my phone, I'm just doing YouTube. You just pop it up, go live, and that's that. And then I have Nightbot hooked up to it to help monitor the chat. And then, of course, Aunt Lynn is from the Aunt Lynn Show, is my moderator today. So kudos to Aunt Lynn. Thank you, Aunt Lynn. And if you guys, Aunt Lynn, make sure you're dropping the Aunt Lynn Show channel too, because that's where you're from. I have a live Thursday, the 16th at 7:30, also doing an interview with a bigger channel. Ooh, who are you interviewing? I'm curious if you can tell. Of course, sometimes you can't, but till it happens. But if you can, I'd love to know. For cooling the coop. Google mini solar air conditioner. Um, it's not, you don't really want to take your birds and put them in an air conditioner. It's not good for them to go from one extreme to the next. Unless it's an absolute emergency situation, and then you really got to be careful as you're doing that because you can put them into shock. It's best to keep them outside. And so, for example, I like fishing. If they go into shock, I have come over here. So I have a tub of water. It's not very deep. I keep it, I've already filled it up, so I can bring them over here and put them down in the water. This has actually been done and it has helped birds out. So you want to cool them down, and you just kind of want to hold them and help bring up their temperature. You don't want to use cold water. You want to go ahead and set this up in the morning and let it warm up. Just that alone is good enough typically for a chicken. If it's bad enough, you want to give them electrolytes for chickens. You can also DIY the electrolytes too, but you don't want to give them Gatorade. I mean, unless it's diluted, I guess. I don't know. I don't know anything about Gatorade and chickens. I'm going to say that much. But I just used a DIY electrolyte that I found off of a well-known chicken keeper. It was her recipe, and it brought Coco back to life. So, yeah. So you want to make sure that you have an emergency plan just in case, but it's not a good idea to put them in air conditioning. That's okay. No problem. No problem. I like fishing. I mean, I have to say I did think that at one time, so it's not bad to think that either. Here, no big deal. No big deal. The Ann Lynn is the bomb diggity. Yes, they are, and they are real life sisters. Ann is my mother, for those who don't know. Aunt Lynn, I hope you, I don't know if you've dropped the channel. Make sure you're dropping the channel. Ann is my mother, and Lynn is my sister. They've had a channel for 3 years. They love to interview people. Lynn, if you know the email, drop the email too. I know. And then make sure you put in there that Grace and Fire sent you. Glenda of Grace and Fire sent you. If you're interested in being on it, they pre-record their interviews and then they drop it as a premiere. But they like to get to know people and share other channels. Black's Tropical Homestead have been on there. Nisi of Freehandly Made has been on there. I've been there. I'm trying to think who else is in the chat here. I think that's it. But they are just two lovely sisters who like to have fun. So, yeah, looking at the chickens again. Yeah, you don't want to look at me today. I have been sweating and working outside. Yes, thank you, Aunt Lynn, for dropping the email. Always feel free to drop your email and the channel anytime, Aunt Lynn. You know, it's important. Trailer for Thursday will be cut out tonight. Ooh, thank you, Little Ridge Farm, for saying that. I'm going to go check that out. Going back and just making sure I didn't miss anybody. I have a live Thursday that's 7:30. Okay, saw it. Okay, so be looking for the trailer for Little Ridge Farm Thursday. Oh, sorry, it'll be out tonight. Sorry, I read that wrong. Trailer for Thursday will be out tonight. So everybody go check out Little Ridge Farm and look for the trailer. That's going to be exciting. I'm excited to see that. Hello, firearm, or Triple Threat Firearms and Defense. Welcome. Hello, Camp Silky. That's awesome. Yeah, so for those who don't know, Aunt Lynn is a crazy shopper. I did a short on my channel My mom actually dropped it on hers today, but go check it out on mine. I think she took it. She stole it. I'm gonna have to pick on her later, but that's okay. She had full permission. What am I gonna say? She's my mother, but it's because of Aunt Lynn. It's all good. So anyhow, Aunt Lynn and I ran into CVS Pharmacy on our Girls Gone Mild trip, and she had a coupon for $11 off these bamboo paper towels. And we walked into the store, and honest to goodness, there was the sale, buy one, get two free. And she walked out and she only spent $2.74 for 3 packages. I mean, they're not little, but they're good size, 3 packages of paper towels. So Aunt Lynn, we need to do some more how to save money with you, since you're close to me. Because you are like the ultimate shopper, and saver. Like, no, seriously, you guys, the woman knows how to save money. Very much so. Oh, Semper Fi, devil dog. Semper Fi. I like fishing. Well, that's right. And Gracie says Semper Fi. There you go. Go, girl. Let's see here. Yeah, I've seen that comment on bargains. Yeah. She, yes. Hello, devil dog. I'm not a Marine wife or a Marine veteran, so but my husband was in the Air Force, so I always say, go Big Blue, because he's a wounded warrior, and we went to a lot of competitive Air Force Wounded Warrior events, and we always screamed, go Big Blue. So it's just a thing for us. Scare Force. Oh goodness. Chair Force. Yes, Chair Force. Yep, we were the Chair Force. Yep. Yes. And I was a Dependa, as the little memes go. I was a proud Dependa for many years. I laugh about that one, you know. But that's okay. Now I'm the caregiver of the Chair Force Airmen who proudly served this country. So I love all of our veterans, and I have a deep appreciation for our military. I also was born into the military. So yeah, so I have a long history. I met my husband at an Army base in Massachusetts. It's no longer in its beautiful glory. It's I think it's like a reserve base. I'm not exactly sure. I'd like to go back up to the area and see it. I love meeting all of the, yes, I do too. I love meeting all of the other branches. Oh, you were at the VA today. Aha. That's my home away from home, the VA hospital. The VA Medical Center. Yeah, that's kind of I laugh about this when I go into the VA, whether it be at a satellite location or the main hospital. I want to take like my punch card, because I'm not a veteran, and I'm fully honest with that one. I'm not the veteran. I'm just the caregiver. I was the spouse, you know. I want my punch card filled. I want like a free cup of coffee. Like, you know, you are here, you are advocating for your husband again. You know, you get like 10 punches, you get a free cup of coffee. You know, that's all I want. You know, that'd be like my way of saying thank you, you know, for advocating. So with all of the stuff I have to deal with, and phone calls and straightening out things. In fact, I had another interesting phone call today, so I won't go into that here, but yeah, sometimes the VA is kind of one of those. I just want a free cup of coffee. That's all I want. My grandpa was in the Navy, and then he was a merchant Marine. My dad was in the Army. I had to be better than all of them, so I went into the Marine Corps. Aw. Either that or Stuber, they call us the jarheads. Aw. Yep, jarheads. Yep. Yeah, we have every branch of the military represented in our family, except for the Coast Guard and now the Space Force. Space Force, of course, being new. But we have them all represented. My one grandfather, he was in the Army and went over after the bombing to Japan. And then my other grandfather was a Navy veteran. So, yeah, so I have that. And then my grandfather was an Army vet. And then my dad was Army, although not exactly the best of guys, but whatever. He was in the Army. That's another story. And my father-in-law was Army. My mother-in-law was Army. My aunt was Army. My uncle was Army and Marines. And my husband was Air Force. And I almost joined the Air Force. I'm not sure if I like the way she looks. I'm watching this one right here. The back of her feathers on the back of her head are standing up in a way that I don't know that I necessarily like. I'm going to watch her for just a minute. Keep an eye on this one. She seems to be okay for right now, but if you could see the back side, it's kind of, I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but the back of her feathers, she might need a, yeah. Are you okay, babe? Maybe she's okay. Yeah, she's okay. But anyhow, yeah, so we have quite a few branches. Okay, so Easter egger or olive egger? Oh, okay, that went off camera. Okay, so imagine you were talking about Tweety, who is the orange one, and she's a green queen Easter egger. It's a special breed from Meyer Hatchery. You'll have to look it up. So they come in different colors. In fact, she's a green queen as well, the one that's laying right here. And it has to do with the color of egg that they lay. So yeah, I think that's who you were talking about. And let's see here. Our air is set on 77 and the house keeps going on. Oh yeah, it's bad. She's just fluffing up to get better airflow. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I just don't like the way that she's looking though. I'm just watching her. Wow, 10 and a half years. I know the Meyer Hatchery has a bunch of others. Yes, they do. They have an all black one that's kind of interesting looking that just dropped. Yeah. And then Old Swedes Farm Rich, his dad was World War II vet, and then his son is currently serving. I don't know if he said that or not, or if I missed it, but Rich has family. And if you've got others, definitely. You were talking about how your dad was buried in a veterans cemetery. Yeah, sandwiched between heroes. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. That's the way to be. Sometimes, you know. And I think it's awesome that your son is currently serving. He was in Hawaii, and that's actually where I was born at, was in Hawaii. My parents were at Schofield Barracks when I was born. So I was born at the Pink Hospital. So let me see. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anybody else. Let's see here. At Tripler. Yep, at Tripler. I was born at Tripler Army Medical Center in Honolulu. I'd like to go back one of these days. It's a dream of mine. He's been an MP at Schofield. My grandson was born at that hospital too. Oh my gosh, your grandson was born there. So I'm kind of curious if they still do it, Rich. Is your grandson's birth certificate like a black piece of paper? Because everybody from my generation that I've talked to that was born at Schofield Barracks, at least in Hawaii, the birth certificates are black. It's kind of weird. And then the white writing. It's weird. I'm just curious. If you don't know the answer right now, that's okay. You'll have ask your son. Just say, hey, I just got a weird question. Is the birth certificate still black? Kind of a weird thing. Thanks to the USA tax. Yes, supporting each serviceman. Yes. Your birth certificate is black. Where were you born at? I was born in 72. Where were you born at? I'm curious. Maybe I missed it. I'm trying to go back through the chat, see if I missed it. But my dad joined the Army in 74. Oh, you were born in Houston. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, my husband was born in Heidelberg, Germany. His dad was in the Army. So he was born actually not in U.S. soil or on U.S. soil or on a Army post, actually. He was born in town, I guess, in a village. I don't know what you call it in Germany. In England, you call it a village, but he was born in Germany. So, yeah. Let's see, 78 in New York. Oh, wow. Your mom's a military brat. Oh, wow. Wow. Lots of military families here. I love that. I love that. I'd love to know where everybody traveled around. Like is the bases still open, you know, from your childhood? I know the one that I met my husband at is no longer opened. It's kind of, like I said, it's like a reserve base, I think. I'm not 100% certain, so I don't want to fully say it. I know that there's a prison there now, and the Boston bomber, I think it's the Boston bomber. I think I'm saying that right. He's housed there. I think that's what my husband said. My mom was born in Charleston, South Carolina. Oh, wow. Wow, that's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, as a little girl, I traveled a lot too. I never made it overseas as a little girl. I did as an adult, but not as a little girl. We just were stateside. Your mom is a military brat too. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. See, I love this family. It's a big family, a military family. I love this. Okay, the base we lived on, I was born, high school is closed, and the house I used to live in has plants and trees growing through it. It's crazy. I don't recognize the street anymore. Wow, I wonder what base you were at. Closed, and the house I used to live in. That's weird. So Nisi used to live at, if it's okay, at a base. I'll just say it like this. Nisi used to live at a base when she was a child that I lived at. I was at elementary school. All right, yep, Lake and Heath. The base we lived at, okay, yep, that was going to say elementary. Let's see, the base we lived at when I was in elementary school and part of my freshman year is still open, RAF Lake and Heath, England. Well, Nisi, I can confirm I know where that's at because I lived at RAF Lake and Heath, England. And I don't know how well you remember, but I used to live, so part of it I lived in a village, and then we moved up on base. Biggest mistake, we should have stayed in the village. But we lived down the street from the youth center, like literally. I'll have to shoot you the name of the street later because I actually I know what the street, I still remember the address, but I'll do that off camera. But literally down the street from the youth center is where we lived at. My kids would walk down the end of the street and there was the youth center. And then the elementary school is where my kids went to school at. And so they didn't go to the high school, but I know where the high school's at. But yeah, we lived at RAF Lake and Heath for 4 years. You have to point out what old places look like these days now. You get to thinking all the visit places my parents and grandparents bumped around to. I may do that after building my farm. I know that would be a lot of fun. Stationed in Missouri and California. My mom did say that they were stationed another place. And see here, they closed the base that I was stationed at in California. Yep. The base that I lived at when high school is in Rome, New York at Griffin. Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Griffin's Air Force Base. I actually remember hearing about that one. Oh Lord, okay. Raised in Jamaica, Queens, and lived in Brooklyn before moving to Arizona. I used to live in Tucson. Griffiths Air Force. Yeah, I know what you meant, Nisi. I do. I know. Oh, okay, they're having a conversation. And let's see, Pop was a merchant marine for the Netherlands. Oh my gosh. Yep. I didn't know that. Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, so we went to Lake and Heath. We were there literally, and I'm not even playing, the weekend after the planes were able to start flying right after 9/11, literally after President Bush allowed the planes to take off. We were on the first plane rather, into Mildenhall, and our plane went in for a landing, and the pilot couldn't see the runway at Mildenhall, so we're coming in for a landing like this, down, 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 down. The next thing we know, the plane is doing this, and we're going back up. When we leveled off in the air, we were all screaming. I mean, we didn't know if our plane was hijacked, to be perfectly honest. I mean, gosh, we're just a couple of weeks out after 9/11. And so the pilot gets on, and he said, I just want to make you aware that basically that he was still in control of the plane, that there were no hijackers. And he said, we are taking the plane to Gatwick, and we are going to sit on the tarmac until the fog could lift. I mean, he literally couldn't see because of the fog. And we literally sat on the tarmac at Gatwick for 7 hours. Our plane ride was 6 hours. So kind of keep that in mind. For 13 hours, I was on a plane with 3 littles, with British police completely surrounding the plane because they wouldn't let us exit, and they wouldn't let us do customs there. They wouldn't let us get out of the plane, and let me just say, it stunk. We couldn't get like any fresh, like we had what was on the plane drink wise and stuff, but once that was out, it was out. So when I hear somebody say, oh, I got stuck on the plane on a tarmac for 3 hours, I'm like, yeah, I did 7. Try that one with 3 littles. I laugh about it, but I did it right after 9/11. So anyhow, so then we finally got into the base, and then they told us the grocery store is open, go get your groceries. So that was my welcome to RAF Lake and Heath, was literally right after 9/11. The bases my dad were walking around other than Pearl. Oh wow, yeah. My sister is in the military as a sharpshooter. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And a medic. Wow, wow, wow. Let's see here. I lived in Watkins Glen, New York. Wow. Yeah, it was a good ride. You know, I loved England. Wonderful, wonderful place to visit. We flew my sister over for a while, and she was a hoot. She and I would like pack our lunches, and this was before GPS, and we would literally just, her and I and the kids, go get lost. And we have some great memories. We get lost in England. One of my husband's uncle was drafted. He and some others were captured and were in prison. Oh my gosh, camp. They got freed because of the German soldiers ignored the order to kill. Oh my gosh. What a story. Holy. I gotta read that one more time. My husband. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Wow. Holy moly. That's crazy. Split Arrow Farm is my Thursday night interview. Oh wow. Split Arrow Farm. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. That's awesome. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is nuts. I'll tell you, it is really hot out here. I'm just saying, these girls, we're probably gonna go out. You girls wanna come out? Come on, you wanna go out? Let's go. I think we'll be okay for a few minutes. Let me check Let me look at the sky. Hopefully no storms. That's what I was a little concerned about. Now it's going to be hard for me to see the chat, so. Chick, 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 chick. You may want to come out. Yep, you want to come out? See, what I have to be concerned about is this. So it's going to be hard for me to see the chat. So I'm not sure how long I'm going to stay on. Here, let me walk in so I can read. Next Thursday. All right. Yeah, it's hard for me to see. Anyhow, well, I'm going to stay out here. I'm going to let these girls enjoy the weather. Give you guys a little view. I think we're okay for a little bit, but I am concerned about this. This is a raccoon problem and a coyote problem, so I'm going to stay out here with my girls for a little while. So I'm going to sign off. You guys stay cool. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Make sure you give somebody a hug. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hang on. Let me see what I'm doing. Let me get up under the shade.